Hello everybody, welcome to Movie Master, where we rank, review, trailer react, and talk about movies, TV shows, and video games. Even. So, welcome to the second video of 2021. This is a second out of about 12, 13 videos I plan to upload to YouTube. And I have done my first video, which is ranking all 7 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. With that, now I'm going to film all 5 seasons of Gotham. Now, Gotham is a very unique show and one of my favorite shows. I loved watching it. And it was very awesome, and I cannot wait to give you guys my opinions. Gotham was a great series. I find it awesome and a unique take on the Batman franchise. And I began watching it at my house. I can remember a lot of memories of watching it on my nanny and uncle's TV that's in the background over there. And my finger's pointing in the background, that's off screen, that's where the TV is. My screen, that's where my finger is pointing, that's to TV. And I watched it and I found the show great. I watched the first season, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I watched the first entire season on my phone and on TV at my house. Second season here. Third season here and at my play. Third season at my house. Fourth season at my house and here. Fifth season at my house. I watched the entire fifth season at my home. The series was good, and I found it awesome the way that it took on the Batman franchise. So without further ado, let's get this started. The first season is Gotham Series 5. At number 5 is Gotham Series 5. With this, Gotham picks up where Series 4 left off, with the bridges being destroyed and Gotham being turned into a madhouse city. With no help from the outside world, Jim Gordon must try and control it and the rampaged, gang-filled streets on his own. The city now needs a hero. That hero must rise up and become the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is Bruce Wayne, the one that Ra's al Ghul had prophesied that would appear in the future, and with that, Bruce must now become the Dark Knight that he's always meant to be. This series heavily builds on the idea that Batman will appear now. This series has reached its hit point now. The first 4 seasons built up the origin of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is Batman. It taught him how to be a fighter. It taught him how to become Batman. It showed that he was not the strong, hard-knocking Batman we always knew. This shows him before he met Robin, before he became Batman, before he became the dark, brooding hero we all know him as. This is what Series 5 was building towards. Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, and I think they did that perfectly. It was done nicely, yet perfectly. And I found it interesting and amazing how the show did it. With that, this show was awesome, and I found the plotline of the rampage streets interesting, but found it a bit rushed. The pacing felt a bit more rushed in this season than the other ones, and well, it felt rushed, a bit more rushed than the other ones. The plotline to finish this up, because this was released in between 2018 and 2019. The series felt like it was trying to rush itself and finish too fast, and just finish up and go, Bruce Wayne's Batman, Gotham, Jim is a commissioner, end it, boom. With this, the series is great, and I find my favorite episode being episode 13, where it takes place 10 years later, showing Bruce Wayne's been gone for 10 years, and Wayne Enterprises opening his new tower, and all of Batman's villains are now primed and ready. Poison Ivy, Riddler, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, all his foes are ready to go from. He's all ready. Commissioner Gordon has been taking care of them for him. Now it's all up to Bruce Wayne for Batman to defeat these foes. The only foe that has not arisen from the depths of the criminal underworld yet is the Joker. Jeremiah Valeska and Jerome Valeska were only preludes to these ones. Jerome Valeska, whilst he was criminally insane, and had no mental sanity. He became the first Joker, but was known as Jerome Valeska. People honored him. Then after that, Jeremiah got poisoned with some gas and became Jeremiah Valeska and fell into a vat of waste. That is not what the Joker is. The real Joker's name is Jack Napier, who ends up falling into a vat of waste similar to him in a Red Hood costume and becomes the Joker. Likely what the series will do is that post-Gotham, Batman will end up fighting somebody. One of them will be Jack Napier in the Red Hood suit, inspired by the Red Hood from Gotham Series 1 and 2. This is 1 or 2, and will put on the mask, fall into the vat of waste, and become the Joker, Batman's greatest foe. And will complete some of the lineup. With that, the series is very unpaced, and the writing is good, and how it starts is it starts off where Riddler, Penguin, and Jim Gordon are gonna start firing guns at the army, who have now been turned on thanks to Clayface, who have now turned on Batman, on Jim Gordon, and the rest of Gotham. And then the series nearly ends. The first half of season 5 ends on that. Series 5, episode 1 to 12 ends on that note. So yes, with that, that's where I put series 5. At number 4 is series 1. Series 1 did a unique job at introducing us to it, but I found it a bit odd, because I watched YouTube clips of Gotham of Jerome Velasca on YouTube, and it was from series 4. Series 4, I found it much more interesting, but I sadly could not go to series 4. I had to go all the way back to series 1. So I had to work my way up. And I found it quite interesting. It introduced us to the whole world, and it was much more darker and toned than this one. So yes, with this, the series introduces us to Jim Gordon, a new transfer from some place, I don't know. He's transferred here. Transferred to Gotham's police. He's taught by and mentored by Harvey Bullock, a veteran in the Gotham Police Department. Jim wants to try and make the Gotham city a less dirty and corrupted place than he is. He kind of gets his way in the end, but he tries anyway. The series shows Barbara, his girlfriend slash engaged fiance. They were engaged for a little while until they broke up over his personal and between his personal and police life. His personal work life were colliding. They could no longer be together. With that, series 1 becomes an introducing series. It introduces all the different characters. And I find it quite an interesting season, and I loved the series, and it was awesome, and it was a great show. And with this, James Gordon, it ends with Penguin becoming the most highest criminal man in the underworld. But yes, with that, the next season is number 3, is series 3 for Gotham. This season bumps things up a bit. James Gordon is now a bounty hunter. He's no longer a policeman. James Barnes is now the captain. With this, James Barnes has immeasurable respect for James Gordon, since they both came from the army. With this, him being the captain and him being a policeman, him being an ex-policeman, they get off on the wrong foot a bit in series 3, since they've been former colleagues. Soon they learn to become friends again and become co-workers. With that, Barnes, since being crippled by one of the bats, since being crippled in a fight accident, he becomes addicted to Alice Tetch's blood, which gives him back his walking ability. But in the process of that, makes him go insane. It makes him Alice Tetch's blood makes him go insane and lose his sanity. It makes him go mad. And he kills a lot of people, including the Court of Owls leader, Green Leader. He kills her, and many other things unfold in front of him. James Gordon, Harvey Bullock after that takes over as temporary captain. And the series ends up going down the more different path. But soon it will lead to show Jim Gordon how to become a hero again. With this, James Gordon gets a toxin put in him, and he gets shown through his memories, and his father, with memories and help from his visions of his father, tells him that he needs to do what's right. With that, James Gordon knows who's he's got to be. After that, he's a cop again. The series is great. I find it interesting about the whole Lee Tompkins marrying Carmine Falcone's son. And I found it an interesting one. And Carmine Falcone's son being a good man at the start, but then becoming a darkened, evil man like his father. So, yes. But with that, the series is nice. And I think it really takes a unique place in the Gotham series. With that, I now move on to the next season, Series 2. Series 2 ups the ante from Series 1 and makes it that Penguin is the kingpin of crime in Gotham. And the crime has been numbered up. And thanks to Oswald Cobblepot, sorry, trying to figure out his name, takes the current commissioner sends him out of town and makes a new police commissioner, and then makes James Gordon helps James Gordon. And throughout the series, they help each other and also find a main goal. And this is when the Riddler enters the scene. And yeah, the series ups the ante. It shows what the Riddler's like and shows him being a murderer, a crazy, psychotic murderer. Is that right? And it shows him in many different lights. And yeah, he's in many different lights. With this series 2 ups the ante, and especially with Jerome Valeska, who ends up killing the new commissioner and killing her, and the city plunges a bit more in the darkness, but they are able to get a new commissioner. The series still keeps dark tone and ups the ante more with Bruce's character and Selina Kyle's character. So the series teaches soon Bruce starts learning how to fight. And with that, yeah, he starts learning how to fight. This season is good, and I think it ups the ante from its predecessor and from its successor. But the season after it is a bit more better. But yes, with that, at number 1 is Series 4. This season is my favorite season out of all of them. I find it interesting. James Gordon is now captain. He has signed over papers. Harvey Bullock is now a detective. He is the commander. James Gordon is now commander until a new commissioner is chosen. He is the captain of his precinct, and he becomes a very honorable man and runs into one of his old workers. With this, the series slowly goes on the idea of Jerome Valeska and introduces his brother, Jeremiah Valeska. And with that, the series gets a more higher ante up, and the scenes I saw in Series 4 of James Gordon and Harvey Bullock are now as they are supposed to be. And Riddler is born. The Riddler and many other villains are born, and now the series is rampaging with all the villains. With the Selina and Bruce's love story is starting to hype up, and they actually become a couple until Jeremiah Valeska shoots Selina Kyle, injuring her partially. She soon gets her right mind back, but then becomes the Catwoman we all know, and soon becomes allies with Poison Ivy, like it is in the comics. The series is great, and I find it interesting. And this season ends and starts off the next season in a well fashion, and shows that Lee Tompkins and Jim Gordon do end up getting married, and Barbara ends up giving birth to Barbara, and later on in Series 5, Lee and Lee and Jim Gordon end up getting back together, getting married, and taking care of Barbara. Barbara's child, Barbara Lee Gordon. So yes. But with that, that's the ranking of all 5 seasons of Gotham. So thank you guys for watching. This is my second video of 2019. My next video I'm going to upload is all 6 seasons of The Flash, ranked from worst to best. And then after that, some rankings of Harry Potter, Batman, Avengers, all different types of films and TV shows, and many more. With movies like The Fast and the Furious and Iron Man being ranked. I haven't finished the Fast and Furious one. More ones like the Cars movies and many more are going to get ranked by me. And I cannot wait to rank these shows and give them to you and give my opinion. But with that, that is all the videos I'll be making today. I'll be making more videos tomorrow on Wednesday. With that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later, alligators.